So basically, we'll learn how to create JavaScript objects using object literal syntax, and also to read, update, add, and remove data or object properties using dot notation and bracket notation. So to start with, what is an object? Basically, an object is a collection of related data and functionality. So it stores data as an ordered list of key value pairs. I'll give an example. If you're looking up a word in a dictionary, the word becomes the key and its meaning that you find out becomes its value. Okay, so we'll use a very basic example of like a user, and then any related data about the user. We will group this together in keys and pairs. Remember, the values can be any data type. It could be a string, a number, a boolean, or even a method. And a method is basically a function inside an object. So to see this example, we first start with a syntax and how it's written. So we'll use the word const, and then user, assignment, and then we use curly braces. So we start with the name, then use colon, and then because it's a string, we'll use quotes. Name, we'll call it Lucy, and then we separate these values using comma. And then name is Lucy, what's her age? She's 30, comma again. Then what's her email? A string, probably lucy@gmail.com. Okay, and then we check with her location. So for a location, we use square brackets and use quotes inside it. For example, we say Nakuru. Okay, and inside this we could put a method, basically say great, and then a function. The syntax for a function remains the same. A function name, in this case it's anonymous, but then we'll use the parentheses and then curly braces. Inside it we will log onto the console and say we say console log, parentheses, use backticks, and say hi there, it's me Lucy here. We'll use since we used backticks, we are going to use this dot name because we already have a name. So then we use semicolon here. There is an error. So what this means, we can close these square brackets over here. Yeah, I think the error gets off. Then to call this method, we are going to use, we will call the name of the object, okay, which is user dot, now the method greet. Okay, now we need to run this, and the output should be hi there, it's me Lucy. Got a spelling error here, thank God it's fixed. So we go to terminal. Let me expand this a bit. I like to use git bash. Perfect. So we'll say node, okay, and call the name of the file object.js. So it says, hi there, it's me, Lucy. So this is a basic syntax of an object using object literal syntax. Okay, so you can apply the same for like a car or a house, any object, anything you could think of. All that you need is just to manipulate and play around and understand this better. Okay, hope you learned something. JavaScript, which is ES6, there's another shorter way of writing this method. I think I will comment the first method, which is this one, so that I can write the shorter version of it, not to give us errors. So what will happen, we'll just say greet and then use parentheses and then curly braces, and then we console log. Okay, use backticks, say hi, I am, use $sign, curly braces, this name, and then so let's see what the output will be. Okay, so it says hi, I am Amina. So this is the shorter way of writing a method inside an object. We can as well log on to the console and print the name and to the console like so. Console.log user.name. So I expect to see just Lucy under this sentence. So let's do this. Perfect. Hi, I am Lucy. That's it.